Yeah, first impressions, I will say it's a bit of a weird year, right? So this is the first time I've been on stage at an event, and the first time I've seen so many people together, but obviously social distancing. And it's great. The energy is really good. I caught a couple of speakers before me. Very good level of topics for different people, and the audience seems very engaged. So far, great. Actually, so for me, I took that as come with more personal stories or anecdotes versus content. So I deliberately didn't bring slides because I just felt have a more human conversation, a bit less rehearsed. The last 10 years, I've done events where it's been very choreographed to deliver a concept or an idea, and then support that idea. And today, I went for a more human and open delivery. So hopefully it worked. I don't know. We were, as a company, transparency was one of our key guiding principles. So we didn't like to keep anything away from employees. So for example, board meetings, which typically is only for the board, we would do the open session of the board meeting for the whole company. So we'd have all hands, but if you wanted to tune in, we'd do the secondary board meeting before it, so everyone could see the financials, they could see what we're really worried about, they'd see what our investors saw. And there's always we always say no photographs, don't share the information, but it was good because people felt that we trusted them, so they never had a question if there's something weird going on. And by weird, I mean, some rumor or something happens, which, with 1,000 people in an organization it happens, then people kind of know what's happening. And the same with feedback. We had this concept of radical candor when that came out a few years ago. We really tried to adopt that as best we could. Any way we could give good feedback and be honest and transparent what we were doing, we felt was super important. It never hurt the business. I think it actually helped people feel like they were really part of the journey. So first of all, I wouldn't say I love hiring, right? And I say that a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's difficult. And it's time intensive, it's laborious, and your success rate isn't that high. So it's one of these tasks where even if you get really good at it, your success rate is still not anywhere close to 100%. But I'm passionate about it because it makes such a fundamental difference to the organization you build. And I think a lot of people give it lip service and they say hiring is really important, it's the most important thing you can do. I'm more passionate that you have to find ways to build that into your company culture so that everyone actually really understands what it means to be the most important activity when their job is actually something else. And so, the things I spoke about today around, building and hiring very much into the onboarding, and also doing a lot of exercises on our meetups and, all hands around hiring, good hiring, what's going well, what we're going to change, and investing a lot of time in it was critically important. Finally, you can't say hiring is most important if you don't spend the time on it. So all the executives will spend 30% of their time on hiring, right? Even though you could easily say, I'm too busy, I've got more things to do. The reality was, if we ever said that, we'd be like, well, is it more important than growing the company with great people? And the answer is always no. 2020 has been an interesting year. I think for me personally, it's been a great year, mostly because I transitioned from MuleSoft to starting my own venture company, Dig Ventures, and investment has actually been booming in this period, even though a lot of things have struggled. So tech, in the public markets, but also in the private sector, has absolutely boomed this year. Mostly due to the acceleration of digital capability needs of organizations and remote working, but also because people have had a bit more time to think about new ideas, new ways of doing things. And there's nothing like a big change, like a macro change like the one we're just going through right now, to get people to think differently about the future of work, the future of employment, the future of the way we travel, the way we socialize. So actually, I think it's a really exciting time. It's not a write-off, but I have said a few times, 2021 is the new 2020 for a lot of people, because I've had loads of people cancel weddings and things that we were invited to. But from a work standpoint, it's been pretty interesting.